Welcome to Secrets of the Stones. Tonight, I'm talking about Azurite. Azurite was given many names in ancient China: empty dragon blue, blue emptiness, and changing blue green stone. Azurite is a vibrant, bright blue stone, one that reflects the qualities of the sky, the ocean, and mystical blue-green dragons. It is a stone of new beginnings, renewal, and resurrection. The Chinese name for azurite is Kong Lin Qing, which means empty dragon blue. Azurite represents the dragon, the protective force of nature. Aligning with the protection of the dragon is one of the principal concepts of Feng Shui practice. Ancient Feng Shui practitioners saw images of sleeping dragons in certain mountains surrounding their villages. They believed that the souls of the dragons lived in the mountain ranges. These dragons showed them where to find the fault lines of the earth and the veins of mineral ores. And this is Jade Dragon Mountain in the Himalayas. Like the mountains, the dragons protected the lands from beyond, from wind and harsh rain. Another name for azurite is Qing King, which means blue emptiness. Indeed, this stone forms in an empty space. It is a new stone, the result of various external factors. Azurite is a changing stone, hence its other moniker, Bian Qing Shi, which translates as changing blue or green stone. If it is exposed to more water during its formation, azurite can change into malachite. Azurite is composed of copper carbonate hydroxide and has a monoclinic crystal structure. Carbonate helps neutralize heat and acid levels. It slows things down when they are moving too quickly and regulates movement in general. Copper stimulates energetic movement in areas of blockage, increasing the circulation of energy, blood, and fluids. Copper promotes the healing of bones and expels wind. It helps maintain the structural integrity of the body, including the integrity of the myelin sheath, protecting the nerves. The color blue has an association to the uterus and the brain. It also benefits the venous circulation. The blue color gives it a strong association to the liver meridian. The eyes are the sensory organ associated with the liver meridian, which explains why azurite is able to improve the vision. Azurite is an important stone for any condition related to the liver channel, especially eye problems and problems related to excess liver wind, which has a tendency to flare upward. Azurite addresses problems related to liver qi stagnation, especially the kind that has come from outside influences, including climatic factors, environmental factors, and trauma from accidents or other traumatic events. The stone resonates with the emotional tendencies that are part of one's constitution, especially emotions related to fear. Azurite is beneficial for acute flare-ups of chronic conditions. It is like the blood of the ancient Chinese philosophers' dragons. When the earth is injured, it bleeds. Like blood, it manages our deep wounds and traumas. Azurite traverses the skin and adjusts the balance of qi that exists between the deeper, nourishing yin level and the outermost defensive wei level. It traverses the sinew channels of the liver and the kidney meridians, and also smooths the flow of liver qi to help maintain emotional and physical balance. It traverses the yin wei or linking meridian, an extraordinary channel associated with major life transitions. When blood or essence is deficient, there can be difficulties handling situations in life. Azurite is beneficial in these cases. So what are the functions and uses? This stone has a monoclinic crystal structure and an affinity for the predominant fire with weak metal temperament. Monoclinic crystals are primarily used for purification. They help us remain calm and relaxed during the process of purification. They are also beneficial for unhappiness leading to agitation. Anatomically, they resonate with points along the yin-linking vessel, the extraordinary meridian, and they are associated with the extremities regarding the flexibility of the arms, wrists, hands, fingers, legs, ankles, feet, and toes. Monoclinic crystals can be used to affirm the abundant fire and weak metal temperament, a relatively rare temperament that occurs when fire becomes overbearing and creates an imbalance in the generating cycle. Because wood feeds fire, this can be caused by an abundance of emotions, or anger in particular, stagnating in the liver and affecting the heart. When the heart fire becomes too strong, there can be symptoms such as insomnia. And fire and metal have a fundamentally destructive relationship. Those who have a predominant fire and weak metal temperament may have an underlying contradiction of character, which can play itself out as guilt over a lack of organization. Organization seems difficult to them because life is expansive and volatile, not organized. So there may be problems finishing projects because there is an abundance of creative energy which comes from the heart, but it is too scattered and not controlled by metal. The renowned doctor of ancient Chinese medicine, Li Shizhen, mentioned Azurite as a stone that dredges through blood vessels to nourish the spirit, dredges the water channels to promote lactation, facilitate movement of the joints, and remove stagnation and hardness. Azurite regulates the liver and smooths the flow of qi along the liver meridian. It stimulates movement and is indicated for poor balance due to physical or emotional factors, inflexibility, nervousness and anxiety, mood swings, painful conditions such as whiplash, frozen joints or spasms, low blood pressure, hypothyroidism, numbness, neuropathy, and muscular atrophy or weakness. It extinguishes wind, a pathological factor associated with the liver, and calms the spirit. It is helpful for people who are constantly fidgeting or biting their nails. It can also help with conditions where the nervous system is constantly active, such as with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or Tourette's syndrome. Azurite harmonizes the relationship between the liver and the spleen. It regulates the qi of the stomach, which is the spleen's paired meridian, the earth meridian, and is beneficial for symptoms of liver qi invading the spleen, such as nausea, bloating, distension, abdominal spasms, and fullness in the abdomen or ulcers. And stomach 36 pictured here is an important point for regulating the qi of the stomach, especially on the right side. Azurite supports the eyes and is helpful for poor vision, optic atrophy, eye pain, photosensitivity, dryness, and irritation from environmental factors. A cooling stone, Azurite clears heat in the blood. It is beneficial for heavy menstrual periods or spotting, endometriosis, dysmenorrhea, anxiety, and nervousness. It harmonizes the sinew channels, especially the sinew channel of the liver meridian, and is helpful for urogenital problems, genital pain, and low sperm count. Azurite also benefits the uterus and calms the fetus during the last trimester of pregnancy to encourage proper fetal development. It is indicated for women who have a history of late-term complications. It encourages tissue regeneration and is indicated for fractured bones, scars, wounds, swellings, and nerve damage. Azurite is a good stone for people who have a lot of stagnation and heat in their systems or who don't know how to let go. It is an appropriate stone for people who have lived through a traumatic event and are subsequently experiencing fear. When it is used during meditation, this stone brings the remnants of the past into consciousness so that they can be released. It pacifies the soul of the liver, the hun, and can be used to access past lives. Azurite can also be used to cultivate knowledge. The blue color opens the third eye chakra. Azurite improves the functionality of the solar plexus chakra as well. So what are the practical applications? Azurite works best when it is placed directly on the body. After surgery, place azurite on surgical scars or fractures to speed the healing process. In the case of a broken elbow with no cast, place azurite directly on the fracture and place magnetized hematite on the wrist and shoulder. The magnetized hematite will increase the intensity of the treatment. But you must make sure that the hematite is genuine. Massage azurite on the soles of the feet to induce labor. Hold a piece of azurite in the hands to manage low blood pressure. Massage, place, or tape azurite in the depression on the bottom of the foot behind the ball of the foot on kidney 1 to enhance semen production in men. On the inner leg, a little more than 1 hand's width above the highest point of the ankle bone, on a point known as liver 5, to address urogenital disorders. On the inner corner of the eyes, on a point known as bladder 1, for photosensitivity, floaters, eye strain, and eye pain. Close to the ears to treat tinnitus or ringing in the ears. And here are 3 points associated with treating tinnitus. Triple Energizer 21 is at the top. Small intestine 19 in red is in the center. And gallbladder 2 is on the lower ear, below the other 2. Place azurite in the V shape on the top of the foot, formed by the junction of the big toe and the second toe, on a point known as liver 3. This point will usually be tender. Also place the stone in the center of the mound between the thumb and the forefinger on large intestine 4 to treat seasonal affective disorder and to help with acclimation to a new environment. Place azurite on the little finger edge of the hand in the depression next to the metacarpal joint on a point known as small intestine 3. This point is located on the crease. There will be a crease when you form a fist. This point stimulates the spinal nerves and addresses a hunched back. Place azurite on the border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is to the side of the Adam's apple on the inner side, and next to the pulsation of the carotid artery, on a point known as stomach 9, to treat an underactive thyroid. You can place the stone on the paravertebral muscles of the spine. Place it on the side opposite any areas of tension. This will stimulate weak muscles and is helpful for scoliosis. And these are the back shoe points of the bladder meridian, which runs along either side of the spine on the highest point of the muscle of the spine. Azurite is brittle and can be made into a powder. This powder can be placed on the inner forearm, 3 fingers width above the crease of the wrist, between the 2 tendons, on a point known as pericardium 6, to address anxiety and nervousness that occurs during periods of transition. A poultice of powdered azurite and petroleum jelly or sesame oil can be applied on the throat to alleviate throat pain, on broken bones and herniated discs to speed recovery, on repetitive stress injuries such as carpal tunnel syndrome, and over the area of the liver to detoxify it, on the lower abdomen for excessive bleeding during menstruation or endometriosis. A pair of azurite earrings set in gold can be worn with the stones touching the center of the earlobes, on the auricular point for the eyes, to improve the vision, treat floaters in the visual field, and decrease brain fog. But as a side note, these earrings should be removed at night and should be set in gold and not in silver, because azurite will interact with the silver instead of the point and the ears. A bracelet of azurite makes a nice gift for a woman who is in her last trimester. Hold an azurite sphere during meditation to work with the hun, the soul of the liver, and bring remnants of the past into conscious awareness. This will help us release associated traumas and help with soul retrieval and the ability to receive information from past lives. Place an azurite generator crystal surrounded by a clear quartz crystals in an ear, nose, and throat clinic to break up and reduce stagnation in the vicinity. Place an azurite sculpture in the northern corner of the home to encourage cultivation of knowledge and wisdom. This feng shui placement is especially beneficial for gaining acceptance over the idea that everything in life has a purpose, and for cultivating the ability to embrace change. Azurite and malachite are often found growing together and are often used together. They are similar in terms of chemical composition. Malachite contains more water and more strongly conducts energy. Azurite has a sweet taste and is more nourishing. Malachite has a stronger effect on the spleen meridian, pictured here, while azurite has a stronger effect on the liver meridian. Malachite is more appropriate for acute conditions, while azurite is appropriate for acute flare-ups of chronic conditions. Malachite and azurite can be used to treat migraines that present with photosensitivity or eye irritation from exterior factors. This is done by alternating the stones, 3 days with azurite followed by 3 days meditation with malachite. You can place malachite or azurite over the eyes and repeat as needed. Azurite is not recommended for use as an elixir. It is too soft to be tumbled. However, a potentiated clear quartz crystal can be used in its place to make stone water. Azurite stone water can be made by placing azurite and clear quartz crystal together for 12 or more hours. The stones should be in contact with each other. Then you can place the quartz crystal that has been potentiated by the azurite into a glass and fill it with spring water. Sip this throughout the day, continually refilling the glass. Stone water made with azurite potentiated quartz crystal is beneficial for calming the spirit, or the shen. There are a few cautions and contraindications to keep in mind. Azurite is contraindicated for estrogenic types of cancer. It is incompatible with silver. Articles of jewelry should be removed at night. Azurite is incompatible with chalcedony. According to Li Shi Zhen, azurite is strongly associated with the wood element, and chalcedony is linked to the fire and water elements. The combination creates a generating cycle where water generates wood and wood feeds fire. Over time, this dynamic causes the stones to have an overbearing and controlling effect on one's life, eventually burning up the user. Azurite can be cleansed and recharged with hematite, or by smudging with sage or moxibustion. But it should not be cleansed in water. And here are some images of azurite. Well, thank you for joining me tonight on Secrets of the Stones. I hope you're having a wonderful evening or day, and I'll see you next time.